Two-part question here about the NFL draft. The Browns locked into the number 2 spot. Tennessee has the number 1 overall pick. Both teams do need a quarterback. My question for you guys, A, will the Browns make a pick at number 2? If so, who is it? And if not, what is your ideal scenario for the Browns in this situation?
And this is a cheat question. This is they trying to be at me. They're trying to get me to do it Adam the Bull right now.
And flip-flop?
Yeah, 7. By the way, I'm going to just disclaimer, 12/24, Monday. Get your flips together. Get your chanclas or your sandals together.
Yeah.
I don't think in draft season you can flip-flop. I don't believe there's a such thing as a flip-flop during draft season. Let me explain why.
Yeah.
They're going to run 40s. I'm going to get excited. It is what it is. It's going to be a dog chasing the mailman. Yeah. I'm going to be excited. Yeah. They're going to have pro days. I'm going to see footage. I'm going to get excited.
All-star games.
All-star games. They're going to have senior bowls. I'm going to be super excited. Then they're going to have a lot of guys telling me, like Jason Lloyd, Cleveland Browns are really high on this guy. They've told me they've gone and they've been doing some homework on his background.
We've reached the season where all they do is lie.
All they do is lie. You
can't ever trust what they.
You lying to me. You getting my hopes up.
Yep.
You going on dates with me, and then I've been on 4 dates. I'm paying all this money, and then you gonna tell me I think we better as friends. No. When I took you to the Chop House and the Marble Room, I'm just not. See, I just talked about something. But no. Listen, I'm gonna get excited. This is what excitement is about. You got a top 2 pick. You could get the best player available. You can trade down. I don't feel like I know right now who I like. If I'm gonna tell you who I like today, but tomorrow that could definitely change. I'm gonna just let you know right now, based on what I'm hearing.
So, so what are you doing? You just gave me a 2-minute montage.
Are you asking what we would do or what we think the Browns will do?
No, your ideal scenario. So, you are on the clock or in the Browns' position.
So here's what I want to do.
What is the ideal outcome for the Browns? Currently the number 2
ideal outcome is I got 4 players on the board that I really want to come away with. If I want Abdul Carter, if I want Travis Hunter, or I want Mason Graham, or let's say another guy, we can put McMillan, the receiver. I got 4 of those guys. My job is to come away from this draft with one of them. So what I do is I pick up the phone. I got number 2, New York Giants. Y'all need a quarterback. Y'all mess around and won too many games. What can you do for me, New York Giants? The New York Giants say, listen, G. Bush, we want to get up. We want Shador Sanders or Cam Ward, which one of everyone's left over. Here's what we're going to give you. We want to give you a switch, and we're going to switch this year, plus we're going to give you a second and third this year, possibly another pick next year. So that would land me their second this year, their third this year, and I want to pick next year too. Maybe a 2 or a 3 next year.
All right.
So then I mess with them. I switch one spot. They take Shador Sanders. I go down to number 3, and now you still got Abdul Carter. You still could get Travis Hunter. You take one of those guys, and now all of a sudden you got that pick. You got your guy that you wanted. Now you got 2 second-round picks. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and jump right back up into the first round and get you another first-round talent, and you still got 2 threes. So for me, I like it. Or you can stay at 2, right? You can stay at 2, and you got 2 second-round picks. You already picked it very high in the second round. So my goal is I'm looking for a trade back with the Giants. I'm looking for also watch for the Raiders for a trade back. They want a quarterback, but if I trade back to 6 or wherever they at, where are they at, Raiders?
The Raiders are at number, I believe, 6. Yes.
At 6, you might not be able to get the 4 on your board, right? Mm-hmm. So now I gotta get a 1 from you. Now I gotta get the 1. I gotta have another first round pick. That may be next year. I gotta have something this year. So because I want to come away with those 4 guys. So that's what my best case scenario is. I thought that was great.
So G's officially on team trade down. Jason, where do you fall?
Jason liked that. He liked it.
Well,
he loved it.
Is Myles Garrett on this team?
Yes.
For the sake of this, yes.
Because I'm telling you, this is the whole hinge point of everything. If Myles is on this team, I believe I think their best thing to do probably, if you don't believe in one of those 2 quarterbacks, if you believe in them, you got to take them.
100%.
And I don't necessarily believe in them, but I'm not an NFL talent evaluator. If you don't believe in them, you have to trade down.
Absolutely.
Because someone else is going to be desperate enough to move up to that spot.
The Raiders especially.
It's really just you just turn it into a bidding war at that point. I don't know that you're going to I don't know necessarily, number one, that you want to fall too far. I don't know that you want to take yourself out of the top 10, certainly.
No.
But,
But the Raiders at 6 and the Jets at 7. Those are the spots you would consider.
Yeah.
Maybe even the Giants at 3, but if you're I don't know, the Giants, going to trade up one spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Because someone else will.
A couple of years ago, yeah.
If you don't trade up to that spot, somebody else will.
That's right.
Somebody will jump you.
I mean, that's the ideal situation, is trading with the Giants.
Yes.
Overpay.
Because then you get the same guy you want,
Right.
if you don't want the quarterback.
Right.
Then you get the same guy you want and you're not going to get as much trading down one spot.
Right.
But you
if you're going to make me stay there and take a player, I would actually take the tackle from Texas, Kelvin Banks. I'd take the left tackle. If you're going to make me stay there and take a spot. Because I don't love either of these quarterback options.
Yeah.
If they do, then you take a quarterback, then you take a quarterback. But ultimately, I would try and trade back because, again, you're dealing with a roster that hasn't had a first-round pick in 3 years. So you're trying to just amass some talent at this point right now. And there are a lot of holes to fill.
It would hurt me. It would hurt me to have to use more assets at a tackle position when you've already used that asset for DeJuan Jones, who you think you hit on. You've used your other previous first-round pick on Jed Wills, which you missed on, and you've given a lot of money to Jack Conklin, which is your other tackle. I would love to fill another position that other than tackle. I would look at it. I couldn't be too mad about it if they did get another first-round pick.
I just don't think. I mean, DeJuan was a 4. So he wasn't a high pick that you invested in, and he could still slide back to right. I know he has his heart set right now on playing left. He's so massive. I just think injuries are always going to be part of his.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a concern with him.
I wouldn't be mad at you. I wouldn't be mad. I would just.
And again, that's not my first choice.
Right.
I would trade down.
And does Drew Aller, who of course is from Medina, how much does he factor in if he changes his mind?
I don't think he's going top.
Well, I read this, and listen, it's just one thing, but I saw this.
I saw the same thing.
From Stadium channel, right?
Stadium, which is owned by Sinclair, which is another big TV station.
I don't know who posted this. It just says from Stadium. I don't know who said this, but it says, spoke with a front office source regarding Penn State quarterback Drew Aller. And he said, Aller is a guy that the league thinks much more highly of than fans and the media do. Scouts rave about his size. He's like 6'5", I think. Arm and ability to manipulate the pocket.
Oh, sounds like what they said about Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
I'm just reading what it is.
That's wild.
I don't know. Added, if Aller does declare he will be a lot of teams' quarterback 1.
Oh, they tripped.
Listen.
They tripped.
What happens at this time of the year is we all see what what McShay and Kuiper and Dane Brugler and those guys say, and then we all get into groupthink. And those guys are good at what they do, but they make mistakes just like everybody else.
They make mistakes.
So, who knows?
What was funny was, who was the guy, Mike Mayock,
Yeah.
was always so good on NFL Network, and then he actually got the job at the Raiders. He was terrible.
It was terrible. Garbage. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. He was one of the worst of all time.
Right. There's a lot less pressure making picks when you're.
Remember, he took that defensive end from Clemson, and we were like,
Cleveland Farrell. Yeah, terrible.
He took Max Crosby in the same draft in the 5th round. So he ended up with
he got that one. He got that one.
He hit on that one.
Complete whiff. Bull, what would you do before we pivot to the Cavs to wrap up today's show?
Listen, I don't know enough about the quarterbacks personally, but from what the people that know it best have said, it doesn't seem like they're worthy of going there. Ultimately, as we've already said, if Barry and Stefanski believe in one of these quarterbacks, then it's a no-brainer. I know there's some people like, well, we got to develop this first and that first.
No.
If they think one of those quarterbacks is
you
great,
take the quarterback.
You absolutely take them.
Yes.
If they don't, then you obviously trade. Not below. I wouldn't trade any further than the Raiders at 6 or the Jets at 7.
That's it.
I'm not going any further than that. Especially 6 would be really good.
Because I don't think you're not getting another one. Even going to 6 or 7, you're not going to get.
You don't think they get a 1 next year?
Oh,
no.
Hey, where that draft chart at?
No,
don't they got a?
so.
Hey, McNuggets, don't they got a
You'll
draft
get
chart?
2s and 3s. I don't think you're getting another one.
Don't they got
Or if you trade 2 to 3?
No, we want to go
No,
from
2 to 3. You're not
2
getting
to 3.
a
You're not
one.
getting one.
2
2
to
to
6.
6. They got
You're not getting another one.
They got to give me a 1.
2 to 6
You got to give me a 1, bro.
I'll try to look at the draft chart.
I need that.
I thought
think
you'd
you would
one
get a
going
first.
to.
I'm getting. You got to
think
give me
you
that,
would.
and I'm still gonna get that 2 and a 3 from the Jets. I want a 2 and a 3 this year too.
No, you're not getting a 2, 3, and a next one.
No, you're not getting that much.
No. I'm just saying a 2 and a 3, not the 1. If I'm trading with the Jets, I want a 2 and a 3.
It also depends how many teams want to come up because you got the Jets at 6, you got at 7, you got the Raiders at 6, Jets
Raiders
at 7,
6, Jets 7.
and then at 9 is the Saints, I think, right?
9 is the Saints. 10's the Bears. They don't need a quarterback. 11's the Niners. Don't need a quarterback. 12's the Cowboys.
Nah,
don't
they're
need a
not. You
quarterback.
can't trade that far down.
I'm just going over the teams.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
next
yeah.
team that desperately needs a quarterback,
Saints.
past Saints,
Saints were at 9.
is like Seattle if they don't believe in Geno Smith at 18.
Yeah,
so you're not
you're
going back
not
that
trading
far.
down to
No,
18.
no.
No. But
The 3 realistic options.
the Jets, the Raiders, and the Saints. 6, 7,
And the
9.
Giants.
And the Giants.
Well, and the Giants, yeah. So 3, 6, 7, and 9. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know.
And-
I feel like you'd get a first rounder for 6, 7, and 9. But
I'm getting that. I need that.
Especially if there's a bidding war.
If there's a bidding war, yes, then they'll get it.
Here,
Yeah.
2018, the New York on the Darnold trade,
Yeah.
they got 3 2s to move up 3 spots. 3 2s,
Right.
to go
But
3
that was
spots.
but this would be more than 3 spots.
Not really. 2 to 6. That's 4 spots.
4.
Yeah,
7 would be 5. 9 would be 7.
Yeah, I need that 1. I need that 1, Playboy. We got to talk.
That was
Would you rather have
2018.
3 2s or a 1 and a 3?
Give me the
A 1 and a 3.
I
A
think
1
it's
and a
1
3.
and 3, yeah.
You
and
always take a 1 because if it's
All
a future
time.
one injury could change another team's fortune. You never
Right.
know that one.
Especially if you're the Browns, and let's say it's Shador Sanders, and you don't think Shador Sanders is very good. You trade him to the Raiders or the Jets. They could easily be a top 10 pick.
Well, it's
next
also
year.
with Shador. I'm curious to see how the Prime family handles this whole
Oh,
situation.
that's going to be a huge storyline. We don't even know if let's say the Browns do love him. We don't know Dion's going to let him come here.
And that's my point. Let's
Yeah.
just say, for example, he says, I'm only playing in Vegas.
Yep.
Well, you lose a little leverage on then that's going to be the underlying
100%.
X factor in all of this, not just for the Browns, but
Yeah.
in terms of what the Browns can get for that number 2 pick too.
I will say this though.
That's true. Yeah.
Jason talked about it. Look, if you don't get the quarterback this year, then they look at it next year. And the prerequisite to even start with that is you got to have 2 number 1s, right? Like, because if the Browns are not that bad, they need 2 number 1s to even talk about getting to a place where they can get said quarterback.
Correct.
Now, so if you can get a 1 this year and you can get it from the Raiders or whoever the case may be, and you could come away with a guy, think about it. If I could come away with Abdul Carter and I could pair him with Myles Garrett, I feel like Myles Garrett is saying, oh, I like that. Finally, give me somebody.
Yeah.
Give me a young dude I could, I like this. And then you still get more assets for next year.
Yeah.
That's the way I would do it. If I had to stay at 2, man.
Nobody's advocating for Travis Hunter here. Huh?
Here it comes. If I had to stay at 2,
Yeah. Oh.
I got to turn and pick in for Travis Hunter. I'm sorry. I just think he's that special.
We asked the chat, what would you do? Best player available, draft a QB no matter what, or trade down and get assets. The QB no matter what, 18%, 41% each for best player available at 2 and/or trade down. That's over 700 votes in the chat.
Here's one other one.
Yeah.
2017, Chicago dropped 1 spot, or climbed 1 spot. Chicago sent the number 3 pick, a 3rd, a 4th, and a future 3rd to move up to 2 to get Trubisky.
So that's what you're looking at.
Yeah, I mean,
Giants.
So a 2-3 swap.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
a 3rd, a 4th, and a future 3.
I mean, I would do if you're the Browns and you don't want a quarterback, then that's a no-brainer.
Because you just
trade
take
with the
that.
Giants.
That's easy money.
You still get the exact same guy you want.
You
Right.
want it.
And
You
you
know
get
what I mean?
3 extra picks,
Right.
including the 3rd rounder.
Yeah.